Good morning, everybody. Today for math, we are going to do lessons 4 and 5. Materials needed. You're going to need a quiet place to work. You're going to need your math workbook in English. You're going to need some crayons. You're going to need a blue crayon, a yellow crayon, and a green crayon again. And you're going to need your pencil. So please pause your video while you gather all of your materials, and then when you're ready, press play. Alright, so our objective for today, we have a few. So by the end of today, we should be able to say, I can represent put together situations with number bonds. So what does that mean? So a put together situation is when we're putting two groups, well for us it's two groups. We're putting groups together. So we will be adding. And so this objective means that we can add by using number bonds, and we can show that. Our next objective says I can count on from one embedded number or part to totals of 6 and 7. So what that means is we can make 6 and 7 by adding. So for an example, we'll look at this group right here. And so I'm going to make it into two parts. So I see a group of 5 here at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what this objective means is I do not need to go ahead and count each circle again because I know this is 5. I can look at it and say 5, then continue counting, 6, 7, to get my total of 7. So we will be using the count it on strategy today in math. And we will be adding up to our answers are going to be up to 6 and 7. And then our last objective is I can generate all addition expressions for each total. So again, like I said, we're going to be working with 6 and 7, so we'll be able to write all the addition expressions. So that's 1 plus 5. It just doesn't have the equal sign. So we'll be able to find all the ways to add to 6 and all the ways to make 7. So for our vocabulary today, we have 3. So I'll say them in English, and then you can say them, and then I'll say it in Spanish, and then you can repeat. Alrighty, so our first word is put together. Juntar. Part. Parte. Total. And total. Alright, our warm-up for today is I'm going to show you a number, or I'm going to show you dots or circles, and you have to tell me the amount that is one more. So if we look at this first one, our number here is 5, so you're going to tell me the one more number. So one more from 5 is 6. Alright, are you ready? Let's get started. We have 3. What is one more? 4. One more than 6 is 7. There we go. One more than 7 is 8. One more than 9 is 10. One more than 8 is 9. All right, now you have to look at the dots and tell me one more again, okay? So what is one more? Well, there's one circle, so one more would be 2. What is one more? 5. What is one more? 3. What is one more? 6. Alrighty, here's our lesson. Are you ready? Yep, there I am. So today we're going to talk about writing the reversal. Can you say reversal? I also like to call it the switcheroo. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at an expression or an equation, and we're going to write the switcheroo. Okay? So you see here I have 2 circles in this hand and 1 square in this hand. So when we put this together, how many is all together? 2 plus 1 equals 3. Right. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the switcheroo. Are you ready? Do you see how I switched my arm? The blue is on this side, and now the yellow is over here. So I just switched my arms. But I still have 2 blue circles and 1 yellow square. So before we had 2 plus 1 equals 3. But now we have to switch it. And we have 1, and I'm just going to write out me, plus 2. We switched it. Do you see how they like crisscrossed? We switched. And how many does this equal? We have 1, then 2, 3. It's still 3. So do you see how I switched my arms, but I still had the same objects? Okay. Now I'm going to switch it back. Are you ready? Here we go. Shoom. See? Now they're back to the first way. So we can write this equation, 2 plus 1 equals 3, or 1 plus 2 equals, oop, that needs to be green, sorry, equals 3. Our parts are in different spots, but it's still the same amount. Okay? So let me show you the whole switcheroo a little bit faster. Are you ready? Here's where we start, and then we flip-flop, and we switch it back. I'll watch that one more time. Ready? Here's how they're starting. I want you to do it with your arms. Put your arms out. Now cross them, and switch them back. Now we're going to try it, okay? All right, so this is another example. This is not in your workbook yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my 2 groups. Do you see how there are 3 triangles here? And 1 circle? Those are going to be my parts. So I'm going to fill in my expression here. How many triangles are there? There are 3. So I'm going to write 3. And how many circles are there? 1. Okay, and then I'm going to fill in that part. Now we're going to write our switcheroo. Are you ready? So we're going to switch their spots. So now we have to write the 1 first, and then the 3. All right, now we need to fill in our number bond. So let's make our total and our parts. Okay. So I know my blue part is the triangle. So that again is 1, 2, 3. 3. And then there's 1 circle. Now we're going to count how many are all together. Let's see. 3, 4. So let's check our work here. We have 3 and 1. Does that equal 4? It sure does. Now let's check this side. 1 and 3. Does that equal 4? It does. All right, let's try another example. So again, we have some triangles and some circles. So first I'm going to circle my parts on my picture. We have 1 part and 2 parts. Alright, I'm going to make my blue and my yellow for my 2 parts. Now I'm going to count. 1, 2. So we have 2 triangles. Let's see how many circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Now we have to write the reversal, the switcheroo. Here we go. Switching the spots. Switching the spots. Here we go. Alright, now we have to start with our yellow. So how many yellow? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Okay. And 2 blue. Alright. Number bond time. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Let's start with our blue again. How many triangles are there? 2, that's right. And how many circles are there for the yellow part? 4. Excellent. Okay, now we need to count them all together. Go ahead and count them all together. See if you can do it by counting on with a bigger number. 4, 5, 6. Did you get 6? Nice job. Okay, let's everybody stand up. Let's do a nice tree pose to calm down and refocus here. Stand on up and let's do our tree pose, and we're going to count to 10. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, nice job. Sit back down. Now you're going to need your workbook, and you're going to turn to page 17. You should have a little 17 down here on the bottom. When you found your page, please write your name at the top. Alrighty, so I want you to take a look at this apple picture. In your workbook, it is on page 23, this picture. Oops, sorry. So if you have a grown-up that can help you take the page out, that's fine. But if not, you can use my picture. So I want you to take a look at this apple picture. Can you count how many apples there are all together? All right, let's see. Let's count. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 apples all together. That's our total amount. So let's look at our directions here. Use the apple picture right here to help you write all of the different ways to make 6. So remember how we were just using our reversal, our flip-flop? That's what we're going to do here. See how they have the same boxes as we just did? Alright, so let's start by looking. I'm noticing that there's some really big apples and some really tiny apples here. So let's start with that, okay? So above my box, I'm going to write big. I'm going to write a letter B. And then on the top of the other one, I'm going to write an L. So that sounded not very good. Let me try again. So I remember that that's how I'm separating my 2 groups, my parts. Big apples and little apples. All right. So now we need to count how many big apples. I want you to look at the picture and count how many big apples there are. How many big apples did you get? There are 4 big apples. If you did not get the number 4, I want you to count again. Now we're going to write a 4 in that box. I'm actually going to trace my blocks in blue first. And then write my B again. And my L. There. Oh. And my, sorry. Didn't switch. There we go. L. And so I'm going to write my 4 in my box for the big apples. Okay. Oh. Eraser. There we go. Now I want you to count the little apples. Let's see. How many little apples did you get? 2. There are 2 little apples. Very good. So write your 2. Now we need to write the flip-flop. So we're going to switch the spots. Shoop. Shoop. And we're going to rewrite our equation. So we are starting with our 2 little apples and our 4 big apples. Now we need to fill in our number bond. So let's see. We have our total and our 2 parts. All right. How many big apples were there? 4. And how many little apples are there? 2. And how many are there all together? Do you remember? Let's count them. Ready? 4, 5, 6. There are 6 apples all together. Great job. Okay. Now let's see if there's another way we can separate them. Ooh, I'm noticing something else. I'm noticing that there's different color apples. What are the 2 different color apples you see? That's right. There are some red apples and some pink apples. Okay. We're going to come over here to our expression. I'm going to make my parts like so. Alrighty. So the blue, we're going to make the red apple. So I'm going to put an R next to it. And we're going to make the yellow pink. The pink apples. So let's start by counting the red. There are 1, 2, 3 red apples. So we're going to write the number 3. Now we're going to count how many yellow apples. Not yellow apples, pink apples. I'm so sorry. For the yellow box. How many pink apples are there? 1, 2, 3. So now we're going to write a 3 again. Oh, wait a minute. I'm noticing something. What are you noticing? They are the same number. There are 3 red apples and 3 yellow apples. That is the same amount. Wow. They're equal. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let's go back to our equation. Now we need to write the switcheroo, the flip-flop. All right. So how many pink apples were there? 3. And how many red apples are there? Sorry. Oh my goodness, I'm mixed up today. How many red apples are there? Oh my goodness, that's not a very good 3. A little tricky on the iPad here. 3. There we go. Now we need to fill in our number bond. Okay. Fill in your 2 parts. We had 3 and 3. And how much apples do we have all together? What's 3 plus 3? Fill it in. It's 6. All right. I'm going to give you a starter on the next 2, but you're going to finish them all by yourself. Okay, this is independent. So, I'm going to show you how I want you to separate them. But then you need to finish the rest of it, okay? Alright, I noticed that there's this little guy right here. We got a little worm and an apple. So your blue is going to be with the worm, and your yellow is going to be with no worm. Oops, let me write that in yellow. Oh my goodness, hitting the wrong button. No worms. Okay, so your blue is with a worm, and your yellow is without a worm. So I want you to now pause the video and finish filling in this problem. Alrighty, now for the next one. We are going to do the number of apples inside the box, inside the square, and how many are outside of the square. So we're going to put in and out. How many are in the square and how many are out of the square. So again, pause your video and complete those problems for me. Phew, good job. Now that you're done with the making all the ways to make 6, now we're going to flip to page 25. 25. You need page 25. And then the picture is on page 29. So you can use my picture, or you can use the picture in your book. Okay, let's begin by writing our names. So this page is very similar to the one we just did, but instead of making 6, now we're going to find all the ways to make 7, okay? So let's read the directions. It says, ways to make 7. Use the classroom picture to help you write the expressions and number bonds to show all of the different ways to make 7. Alrighty. So take a look at this picture. How many kids are there all together? Okay. So the first way I think I'm noticing is that we have a lot of students sitting down. And a lot of students and some students standing. So our first group is going to be the group sitting. So I'm going to put an S. And then our next group is going to be the kids who are standing. And I'm going to put the word up next to it because standing also starts with S. So I'm going to change the word a little bit. So we have a group sitting and we have a group up. So let's see. I'm going to do the first one with you, and then I'm going to let you fill in the rest of them by yourself, okay? So let's see. How many kids are sitting down? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 students sitting down. And then how many students standing up? 2. There we go. Now we're going to write the flip-flop, the switcheroo. We're writing the reversal. So now we have 2 standing up and 5 sitting down. Now we need to fill in our number bond. Go ahead and fill in your number bond. Okay. Let's think of another way to split up the students. Ooh, I'm seeing some students have headphones on. And these students do not. So I'm going to help you set it up, and then you're going to fill it in. So we have students with headphones and students with no headphones. Go ahead, pause your video, and complete this group. Alrighty. Okay, the next group I see is that all of these students have books. So this group is going to be books. Ooh, goodness. There we go. Books. And then this one is, well, he has like a paper in his hand, so we'll write a paper. Go ahead and fill in this number bond, these expressions, and your number bond. Pause your video. Alright, the last one is, how many students do you have? And how many teachers do you have? So we have students and teachers. So go ahead and pause your video and solve this problem. Alright, now that we're done with all of that work, you can do a nice stretch. Go ahead and do Warrior 1. And we'll reach up high. And count to 15 this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Whew. All right, shake it out. Now you're going to try the homework page by yourself. So I'll go over the directions with you, and then you're going to complete this work and then send pictures of all of the pages to me. So let's see, homework page. It's on page 27. You should just have to flip the page from the ways to make 7. It's the very next page. Yep, the very next page. So the first direction says, match the dice to show different ways to make 7. Then draw a number bond for each pair of dice. Okay, so the first one here has been done for us. So they matched 1 and 6, and they filled in that number bond. Okay? So you're going to match 2 with another number to fill in the B number bond right here. So 2 and 4 make 7, or 2 and 5 make 7. Which one? Okay. And now you have to find which 3. What goes with 3 to make 7? All right, problem number 2 says make 2 number sentences, use the number bonds above for help. So you're going to use these number bonds and write 2 equations, okay? So take one of these number bonds and bring it down here and put it into the equations. And then your last one is fill in the missing number in the number bond, so it's missing something. Then write the addition number sentences for the number bond you made. So you're going to fill in this missing part, then you're going to write the equations. When you're done with all of that, please take pictures upload on Portfolio, and I will grade them.